Hello and welcome to your practice. This video was requested by my mother for toga, yoga for your toes. So this is for you if you have tightness in your feet or your toes, if you have bunions. It'll help to mobilize through the feet. My feet are a little dirty because I like to be barefoot. But we're going to want to have a couple of blocks for this practice will be helpful, or you could use a stool or like the edge of a table, just a little something to support some of your weight. We're going to begin standing at the top of your mat. Standing at the top of your mat, you're going to have your feet parallel, and you're going to begin rocking back and forth, inhaling up onto your toes, exhale, rock back and lift the toes, lifting the heels with the inhale and the toes with the exhale, aiming to keep your feet parallel. So watching your heels, making sure they land in a straight line back from your toes, parallel with your mat. And syncing with your breath, inhale, lift the heels, exhale, lift the toes, just mobilizing through the feet. And then we're gonna lift all 10 toes and try to set them down one at a time, starting with the pinky toes, down to the big toes. And then we're gonna try to lift them back up, pinky toes to big toes. It's a big exercise. And then we'll set them down, big toes to pinky toes, and then lift the big toes back up, and then to the pinky toes. Just trying your best here. And then we'll set all 10 toes down and bring your heels out wide. So you're gonna be standing a little bit pigeon-toed, toes in a little, heels wide. And you're gonna lift the right heel and press down into the big toe, and then swing the heel parallel. So you're making a lot of space between the big toe and second toe. And then do the same on the other side. So press down into your big toe and then rotate so your heel comes parallel, but you're keeping the big toe pressing down, so you're spreading through the tops of the feet. And then set the heels down. Take a breath there. Just feel the spread of your toes, nice and wide. And then you're gonna try to lift up on the heels, onto the balls of the feet, just a couple times. Really finding mobility through that open spread of the toes. One more time, lifting the heels, inhale, exhale, set the heels down. Good job. Go ahead and wiggle out your toes a little bit. Give them a little rest. And then we're gonna come, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, you're gonna lift up just halfway, and then you're gonna step back into a downward facing dog. Just find a comfortable down dog, and then you're gonna flip your right foot and put the right toes onto the ground. And as you inhale, come forward to a plank. And as you exhale, stretch back up into a downward dog. Inhale, finding a plank, shifting your weight forward. And exhale, you're gonna stretch the top of the foot, top of the toes, coming into a downward dog. Inhale to a plank, last time. Exhale, down dog. Go ahead and untuck those toes. And then we'll tuck the left toes under. Inhale, same thing. You're gonna come forward to a plank. Exhale, you're gonna stretch back to down dog. This can be a little intense, so take it easy if you need to. You can go halfway back to down dog. Whatever is feeling best on your feet. The tops of the feet can be really tight, especially the tops of the toes. Inhaling to a plank. Last one, down dog. And then untuck those toes and just pause for a moment here, pedaling out the feet, lifting one heel, then the other. Kind of massaging the feet, let it feel pretty good. And then we're gonna bend the knees, come to kneeling. Have your blocks or the edge of a table or stool right near you so that you can put some weight on it. This can be intense. Your toes stay tucked under, your weight on your heels. And then we're going to shift the weight back. So dropping your heels heavy, big stretch through the backs of the feet. And then you'll lift the hips up for a fold. And bend the knees. Exhale, shift the weight forward. This is called the Thai goddess pose. It can be a little bit of torture if your feet are really tight. Good. Inhale, shift your weight back, let your heels be heavy. Exhale, lift your hips, fold. Inhale, bend your knees, Shift your weight forward. Exhale. Inhale, drop your heels back heavy. Exhale, open up. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, soften forward. Good. You can do that one more time, sinking the weight back to the heels. Inhale. And exhale, lifting the hips, bending the knees, tipping forward. Good. And then you can untuck the toes. We're going to bring the feet out in front of you now. Give the feet some love because it can be a pretty tiring practice, right? To get all those muscles working and opening. So you're just going to lift your foot up and squeeze your foot with both hands. Both sides of your feet getting a nice massage, squeezing, bringing circulation and energy into the foot. Getting the heel too, just giving the whole foot some nice squeezing. And then send that foot down and bring the other foot in. Both hands squeezing both sides of the foot. Again, inviting circulation, energy into the foot, inviting the tissues to soften, release their gripping. Just make it feel good. Make sure you get the heel. And then send both feet out. So next we're going to come to feet up the wall. So you can take a blanket if you'd like to put a little extra under your back. I like to have the blanket underneath my shoulders. I like my hips to be off, but you might like to have a blanket underneath your hips. Or you might just be fine on the ground. That's great. And then you're just going to bring your legs up the wall. So reversing the direction of gravity on your legs can just bring respite to your feet. And then you can stay here as long as you'd like. And thank you for joining the practice today. If you have any requests for practices for the future, please leave that in the comments. Thanks for joining.